Do you want to rename several files at the same time? Do you also have a record of what modifications you are doing without the files being moving? Or better yet, if you follow a partner to do easily, quite here, I have the solution. Use rename massive files with Excel. It's a repository that I have in GitHub, link in the description. It will help you to export automatically an Excel template where you can assign new names, and then the program will assign these new names of your files or folder. Here you have it. So stay until the end. As a first requirement, you have to need download and install the program. For that, I'm leaving you here the link in the upper right corner where you can see how can you download my program and execute it, even if you want to install it or run the script directly. Here you can see every method step by step well explained. Now I have my program installed as onefile.x. Remember, if you are installed this with dependencies, you need the dependency folder with the program in the same folder. And if you are running this from the code, the Python directly, you need to put all the files or all that will be affected will be on the partner directory. Now I'm going to paste some pictures and a folder to see the changes. This is my program. Here I have a folder. This folder has some files. These files won't be affected. We will see it later. And all these pictures have different names. I'm going to run my program. Now the first step is to create an Excel template with all the names of the folders and the files that are in the same folder that my program. I'm going to run the first step, the first button, and you will see here the Excel template. Note that the Excel template and the program have the same name. To affect the program, I need that the Excel template, even if it is filled, have the same name as the program. Now I'm going to enter to my Excel template. As you see, the Excel has 3 columns: original name, file extension, and new name. This is the original name without the extension. This is the file extension. If the file is a folder, there's no extension. And here's the new name. And the new name, you don't need to apply any extension. Remember, the extension that you will use is the same as the column B. Now I'm going to put some new names. As you see, the Excel template is now filled. I'm going to save it, close it, and keep it with the same name in the same folder as the program. And now I'm going to run the second button, modify files as the Excel indicates. I have here 2 options: create a new folder and copy the files with their new names, or overwrite the files with the new names. I'm going to create a new folder. And now you see the same name as the program and / rename it. Here inside, there are all the files that I had in the folder. Remember, the folder with new name. Here was folder with files. And now all the photos, photo 1, photo 2, photo 3, as the Excel indicates. Now the folder inside have the same documents as it had at the beginning. The documents inside folders won't be affected. Now to check the other option, I'm going to modify files again, but now overwrite the files. Remember, this process cannot be undone. Do you want to replace the original files? If I want to replace them, I'm going to put yes. It depends on you. And now the files were affected. folder with new names for the 1, for the 2, for the 3, for the 4. Now checking the files with the original name again. I'm going to make some mistakes to check how the program registers and saves all the errors. I'm going to repeat photo 3 times, so this will be run, but these two won't be affected because this already exists. I want to erase one extension. I want to change another extension, and I'm going to change another original name. Check these mistakes. This photo 3 is 3 times. It will be run only once. This has no extension, this has another extension, and this has the name changed. I'm going to save it with the mistakes, close it, and run the program again. As you see, some files were not processed. The list of errors was saved in this another Excel. I'm going to check here. You will see the photos that were processed. Only photo 3 one time, but the other no. Let's check the errors. Photo 3 has already previously processed in the table that already exists. Only runs once. These two weren't run it. This photo hadn't been found. Photo 6. File of photo no found because it looked for pixels, carrier, and this number, but without extension, it hasn't been found. This another file hasn't been found because it has another extension, and this another file has other name, so it hasn't been found either. And this other file has another name, so it hasn't been found either. Now this Excel template has a sheet protected. It has no code. It has no password. If you want to unprotect the Excel sheet, you need to have the same name as the program. The third option is unlock Excel sheet. I'm going to unlock it. And now the Excel is unprotected. If you want to unprotect from here, you can go to review and unprotect sheet. Look, it's unprotected. There is no problem. It has no password. Now we are going to check some tricks. If you want to separate the name by a special character, for example the EPEN, I can copy all this column. I will copy it here. Remember I unprotect the sheet first. And now go to data and text to columns. Here I have delimited by a special character, order, the EPEN, and finish. And you see now the name is separated by the EPEN in different cells. Other trick is to use the formula TEXTJOIN. I'm going to show you how it works. For example, I want the new name like from column E to forward, then G and H, and then F. Every column separated by an EPEN. I'm going to put the formula TEXTJOIN, and the first parameter is a delimiter. I'm going to put an EPEN. Ignore empty, like sometimes it finishes in the column K, sometimes in column J, and other times in other columns could be. I will put true. I want to ignore empties because if I put false, it will separate by the items, even so empty columns. And now the structure I want. A to M, for example, GH, and F. And now I see the new name successfully separated. Other trick that you can use is use write some examples. For example, I want to put this from here and finish with pixels. I'm going to repeat the same pattern again. And now I'm seeing that the same Excel is suggesting me to use this pattern in all these rows. I'm going to put enter, and I have all the rows filling from 2 examples. Sometimes it takes 3 examples, 4 examples, or 5 examples. It depends on how complex it is. But if you are feeling like a partner, you can just make some examples and fill it this way. If you don't put enter, for example, I have here 2 examples. And here in data, I have the option flash fill is the same option, Ctrl E. And from the example, he filled all the rest. Thanks for watching the video. I hope it served you a lot. You can give me a like here in the video and subscribe if you want. You are welcome to my community. And if you feel it very useful, this program, you can give me a like in my GitHub repository. The link is in the description here. And thank you again. See you next time.